So this is Renee Davis. She was part of, she was a World War II veteran. I think she was in the postal division of the Army.
Is that the 666 or 668?
We cannot say.
Okay.
I actually haven't tried to have any conversation with her recently, so I'm going to find out about her as well.
Tyler Perry's doing a movie on them right now. I think he just wrapped in Atlanta.
So what do you guys want to ask her?
What division were you in the U.S. Army?
What division were you in the U.S. Army?
In World War II, I decided to join the Army. I wanted to be in the Air Force, but they put me in the Army because all 5 of my brothers had attended Army. Each one was in a different service. And I had to go to following them as I did when I was younger.
So, depending on the database,
Yeah, it may not find you the exact answer. but
Did you serve in the 668?
Let's see if it knows about that. Let's try. Did you serve in the 668?
You can ask me about what I did in the Army, or you can ask me
So
about
you didn't quite know that one exactly.
Asher.
I think the question understood you wrong because you
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
did you send
Where I've
in
been.
the 668?
Serve.
Cities.
Tell me about your service in the your postal functions in the U.S. Army service that you did.
Tell me about your role in the Postal Service in the Army.
I enjoyed it. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about women, and I learned a lot about the military. And I had an opportunity to learn many other things, association with groups of people, and being away from home, and traveling, not being afraid, and what the war was all about.
So the bigger the database, obviously the more extensive, like the more questions it'll have to answer, right?
Yeah.
But I wanna, it's not, you can't do small, like very small, like yes, answer like, yes, no, it's not an interactive thing like that, right?
I mean, she's not asking you questions. Is that what you mean? Or like,
No, I meant, yeah, she's not asking me questions, but I'm saying also, like the questions that I ask her, it could be very small, like can she give small answers
Like,
to
just
all
straight
these
to the
different?
point.
Oh, wait, in a moment.
Yeah, like if I ask a question like, how old are you? I'm 85. That's it. She can. It's not simple as that, right?
I mean, she's probably just going to have an answer to that. When we do the interviews, we try to keep the questions slightly longer, I think,
Okay.
because it's also like we don't want a non-sequitur. We want to keep the conversation going.
Okay.
So if I ask like, how old are you?
At the time of the interview, I am 102 years old.
Wow.
Well, that's pretty.
Is she still with us?
I
Yeah.
don't know. Some of the people.
No,
think
she
so,
isn't.
but like-
Oh, wow.
She said, yeah.
What
When was
she
this?
is, isn't she?
This would have been she was last year.
Wow.
We're doing a series of 16 World War II interviews for a museum in New Orleans, National World War II Museum. So
Yeah, that was pretty quick, though.
these are some of the other ones that we've done so far.
So the database for answers is only limited to the questions that you guys asked during the interview?
Yeah. So generally, what we've generally found is that if you tell a good story,
You'll get
it
enough
might actually answer many,
information.
many different questions.
Yeah.
And in a case like this, even though she didn't necessarily like answer the question of was she in the 668, she's like, well, this is what I learned from being in the army. It was still an interesting story that felt like it answered the question.
Right. So who was the person that prepared the questions? Did she prepare the questions for the
She
interview?
wasn't the 688.
She was not?
The 688.
She was?
This is 688.
688.
Oh, it's a six. Yeah, I forgot. I forgot 8.
Central Postal Directory. So she talks about like what was the motto, how many women
So
were
yeah,
in
so
it.
she's part of the battalion that, I mean, the regiment that Tyler Perry's doing a movie that'll come out at some point this year.
Yeah, so like she talks, and it's a
Wow.
question,
Like an actress.
was it dangerous serving?
But from a documentary standpoint, there is a short documentary on them. I actually have them in the a film project that I was involved with.
Oh,
Yeah. Wow.
So
Nice.
you can,
it's amazing. The 102.
there's in all, how many questions are there? 414 questions that she answered, which adds up to about 3.5 hours of edited footage.
That's good to know too. That's kind of interesting.
So,
Let me see that storage too. Go back there a little bit. Is that storage?
there was
Storage is no, megabytes.
Oh, maybe.
it was. I mean, once it's actually compressed, I mean,
Right,
it's just
right,
once
of
you
course.
it's MP4
Yeah.
videos.
You gotta say gigabytes.
Yeah.
Yeah, first I thought, yeah.
But I mean, if you actually were like looking at the raw footage
raw
from
footage.
12 cameras,
Oh yeah.
that might be more like
Right.
70, 80 terabytes.
Of course.
Wow.
12K. Come on.
But the
Oh,
most
yeah.
people aren't going to be streaming 12K footage. to
Right,
this
right,
somewhere.
exactly.
So here, just to skip right here a little bit through the software. We have a builder. This is where you can sort of you build up your script. We have various predefined templates if I want to search for like veteran. There's various veteran scripts. So if I want to look at one of them, like what are your veterans? They're like introduce yourself, where were you born, what was your unit, what was the role mission of your unit, what was your rank. So sort of a script that would be on that, and so these could sort of help inspire you to as you build your questions. I think we have a library of about 3,000 questions that.
So how do you
Sort of
plan on
pre-built.
like distributing this like the software? How do you or is this like going out to all the consumers, or are you trying to get client? I mean, how
So this is the software is something we usually license to film studios
Okay.
or to companies.
okay.
It's like a professional storytelling platform.
Gotcha.
If you, I'm going to go to a different story platform, don't particularly want to accidentally mess up that one. So if I go to like,
So this is not going to be open to the public, per se.
this is not, I mean, eventually this is a,
more production for the production.
so we go back to
Storytelling.
let's go to, let's go to a test story file. So, if I wanted to record something on this, I could just go to record, choose my web camera, and actually it helps if I chose a device. Record.
Yes.
Maybe that one. No, it's something else is taking over my camera.
So Val, question, I don't know if you can answer this while you're searching through. So these interviews were recorded not in your studio, but where?
This was recorded downstairs.
Okay, so she came here.
She came here. We met her over on Black in this case. And then this is actually edited in Premiere, and then we uploaded it to the system. What I was trying to demo, if I can get my camera to work, is you can also just turn on your web camera and just like film it and then upload it directly from your built-in camera.
So in production, could you do green screen and put 668 footage behind her if someone asked her, hey, what did you do in the Postal Service? You can show clips of what the 668 did?
Yeah, I mean, you could use all the tools you have in the video editing pipeline, and then just say you go to Storyfile, and you go to a question, click on question, and say I'm going to upload, and you grab the video and you upload it, then transcribe it, and
So in the particular case for the World War II Museum, did they use any B-roll or any pre-roll footage of some
there
of the?
might be some. I'm not sure if there would be. But I think we have some cases where, like, if you ask her if she has any photos or memorabilia, she might show you something.
Yeah.
Let's try that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because I could imagine, it'd be interesting to get, questions, but if people.
Do you have any photos? Do you have any photos?
I'd like to show you some photos.
Oh.
Serious and happy and out of this world and back in. In the picture with me is my friend Butch. I forgot Butch's last name over the years, but we went to Switzerland from Rouen, and we had a wonderful time, met a lot of wonderful people, and I saw snowflakes bigger than a 50-cent piece. And I was standing there with my mouth open trying to catch them and said, "What's a kid?" And they said, "Let's go." And I didn't want to move off the mountain. Mountains were everywhere. It was a lovely vacation. I wonder where Butch is now. I was trying to be a soldier. That was one of the first pictures I ever made with the captain hat uniform. And the unfortunate thing was, I had a locker full of goodies to take home. I stopped in New York to see my aunt. She lived on the top floor, third floor, fourth floor. And I locked the car, went upstairs, and I came back and I almost fainted. I probably did starve to myself. Somebody had taken my locker, 2 big bags of sugar that I was carrying, Mom, everything they gave me. And I had trinkets for them and my uniforms. And I don't have a uniform today. Nothing but a hat, because I had that on my head in my suit. I was so disappointed. They had torn the car open, taken everything. That's a marriage photo. Jerry Davis and me. It was a lot of fun. It made me laugh. They never used to laugh at a little. I'm very serious, busy at work, but I have lots of fun. We travel a lot. And my dad's gone, and I think it was too big.
Hello.
And somebody was in the yard, maybe there was a party going on or something.
Do you want to continue?
Yeah.
Monkeying around.
So,
Wow.
Sharp too, man. That's awesome.
So each one of those were different clips as.
that was actually as together into one big sort of montage. But I mean, you can take it in whichever direction you want, and then like if you, I mean, in some cases we've had cases where we had the interviewer say, like, "That's a great question. Let me show you a film, or let me introduce you to someone else who's going to tell the story." Or you could just jump straight up and show the historical footage.
And that system, your system, it allows you. It doesn't allow you. I'm asking this. It doesn't allow you to have her in the front and then those pictures in the back, right, playing.
I mean, you could, if you filmed her on a green screen, you could put the pictures in the back.
Edit it.
Yeah,
But I'm saying like
video
here
editor.
you can't.
Yeah, we're not. This isn't a video
Right,
editing
right.
tool in
Okay.
itself.
Okay.
We're like we're not trying, there are plenty of other good video editing tools
For
out
that,
there
yeah.
that you can use.
This is just how they edit it, so, yeah,
Right,
it's a
right.
green
Yeah.
screen, so you can put anything in the back. So, I've noticed that your stories are filmed in the 9:16 aspect ratio.
Mhm.
All your stories are filmed that way as opposed to the 16:9?
I mean, a
There's a
lot of the
reason.
stuff that we do is sort of full body portrait. There are story files that are landscape.
Mhm.
And I mean, part of the reason why I think we film at this high resolution is on some devices you might just show
So
here
close and
to
personal.
here, right?
Mhm.
And then that would be sort of that might be more natural. If I was like talking on my phone like this, I don't want to have like an entire like tiny person this size. I
Right.
might just want to show
Full
my head.
screen.
Or if I was like this, I might want to show
Yeah.
that. So being able to crop it down for different devices is what other reason why we
Yeah.
go it higher.
Makes a lot of sense.
So this was
Portable.
shot in landscape, but you just cropped it in.
This was the camera downstairs was actually on its side, so it was
Oh,
portrait. If I let's find another story file.
Your
Probably
videographer
find an
too.
example.
Yeah.
He's the one that shot
You
his
get a
soul
lot of
sets.
requests,
He
man,
shot his
for,
soul sets.
The 9:16 aspect ratio as opposed to 16:9.
Yeah, just usually landscape, but if I have to, I'll just crop it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kev, he was one of my two principal photographers at soul
is it?
sets. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So this is an interview that was done more like in the
Okay.
home
Right.
and in landscape.
Oh, so you did a remote shoot with this person as opposed to
This in this case, I think her family actually did the interview herself.
So they shot in the home on their own devices and took the content and rendered it
Yeah,
and then
so like,
and uploaded it. Okay.
so she has questions about
Family ancestry.
her family and her parents, and this was paid for by the family.
They wanted archive for that part.
So
Yeah.
what are the standards for somebody that wants to shoot their own content? Is it 4K or is it, what
Usually
bit
try to
rate?
go for at least HD, I think.
Okay.
Most devices are going to be able to stream 4K. Like even if you go to Amazon and you buy like the latest Avengers movie at 4K, it's probably streaming to you in HD
Right.
because your internet's not fast enough. Most people's internet isn't fast enough.
Your cell speed's not that fast.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So and most people can't tell the difference.
Right. Not on the device. No, not at all. Right.
So I mean, just because it's shot this way doesn't mean that it's like
Has to be that.
the only aesthetic that you have to have.
Mhm.
The main thing we're providing is a sort of conversational interface for exploring the story.
Wow. Hey, well, guys,
Great
I
job.
don't know about
Expect
anybody else,
photos.
but
That was good.
this is fantastic. And again, I'd like to submit a story, a storyline that connects to a timeline of people who represent the African American military experience from 1948 to present. It's now the 75th anniversary of that timeline, which is an important milestone in civil rights history. Got celebrated July 26, 1948 on the grounds of the White House, called Executive Order 9981, which was signed by Truman. And then 9980 actually allowed women to serve in the military with the same full rights to benefits and promotion and all the things that would give it anybody who wanted to serve in the U.S. Armed Forces the same opportunities. And that celebration happened in parallel at the White House. And so these men and women that we want to kind of catalog for some of the things that they did and some of the people who did some pretty remarkable things in the timeline. We have some people that actually predate 1948, but we're still in that timeline of 1948. They go back as far as World War II, which is 1942, all the way to 48. And that's something the Department of Defense and the Department of Veterans Affairs is really interested in, that timeline. And the only thing we can do as a pilot, as I think, to show one or two of those people who we can all have consensus that would be important to showcasing how this could be funded or undergirded by more support, more resources to get practically everybody as something to represent in that timeline, in a chronological timeline. So that's really where I want to take this to. I'm still trying to figure out if there's one person who is not with us that we could nominate as the person we did a pilot for. Who would that person be? And to democratize this, I'm going to ask some representatives from DOD and the Pentagon, who would you like to kind of bring back to life if you could? Through an actor or through any means. Now that I kind of understand about putting an actor in that role, one of the people that I want to nominate is Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson, most people don't know about his military service, and more importantly, why. And other athletes that we want to possibly put into that timeline: Joe Louis, Jackie Robinson, Sugar Ray Robinson, Arthur Ashe. And the only person that's still alive is Willie Mays. He's 97, I believe, right now. But these people have some amazing stories about their service. Some were drafted, and some just went in voluntarily during World War II. So it's a project that I think has legs that I want to try to figure out. And then the Tuskegee Airmen, especially the ones that have been left behind, that no one has ever really heard from except for the people who were their wingmen and flew with them and saw them shot down. So I'm amazed. Does anybody else have any questions, suggestions, or comments before we break?
That was pretty thorough. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
The other thing I would just think is, like, as you look at what footage and what things you already have, like, is there any way you could, if you put them in this format, like conversational, like could we build like a 10, 20 question, just a proof of concept that using footage that you guys already have, that you could then go and take someone and say, like, this is what the conversational video would do. Now if we go out and like have some budget to go out and like film someone, let's actually go to film someone who's still alive, or recreate someone who's not alive based on this references of what they would have said. Like, really having something that you can show to someone is going to really help you with that sort of fundraising process. And maybe, I mean, there's enough talented people in the room here, you guys who can edit something together and 20 quick clips about answering some questions, and maybe that's something you could show off.
Yeah, well, this young man here stitched together those 5 people that I just mentioned. They're kind of my Mount Rushmore. And, we've taken a lot of content that we've gotten a license for to create a long form and then a short form video called Victory by Valor. But, Willie Mays, Joe Louis, Jackie Robinson, Arthur Ashe, all in their military uniforms, where people say, oh, wow, okay. I mean, aside from just hearing about it, you can actually see them in their uniforms with, regiments they were in, and, just those things that would juxtapose them talking about it, and then obviously video file footage, just not photographs. So those are the kind of things that, we want to extract from our archives to submit to you that, could become the pilot. But yeah.
No, I was just gonna ask the last question. Is this a subscription, or is this like you buy yearly for the? I mean, how does this work as far as financial? Or is it at that level?
So yeah, the back end stuff there's a subscription.
Okay.
I think I went to the family history app, life.storyfile.com. Then this is more of a you
Gotcha.
pay like a one-time fee, and then you kind of pay by the question.
Gotcha.
So it's like $1 question roughly.
Gotcha.
But we're probably going to revamp this, because this is sort of assuming that you pick from that library of questions,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to try and make it more AI generated, so like the AI suggesting questions, as I was discussing downstairs. Because right now, like, you still have to go through and pick all the questions individually, and that takes time. But
And with this technology, it'll stem it all together.
Yeah.
Stitch, okay, gotcha.
So
And you assign-
this is sort of assuming that you would be filming with your like web camera, as opposed to like video editing it and uploading it. The Conversa platform's more designed for people who are like full production studios.
This one is?
Yeah,
Okay.
because this one actually allows you to like upload your own footage and getting in and like
So that's the
really like.
and this is not a subscription, or it is?
This is a subscription
Okay.
model.
So you just go online and it'll say, and then you just,
I think you can't sign up for it directly. You have to contact our
you guys.
sales department.
I got you.
But also, like, if we're doing a project with filming some people, then maybe like, we could work something out.
It's a bigger yeah, like, cause I'm looking at something, I'm actually was thinking as I was talking about the project that I was talking about for the Olympics.
Oh, the Olympics, okay, yeah.
That would be really good for all the different, and just be able to put it somewhere, you know,
Right.
and document, that'd be really good.
So I'm curious. You mentioned that everyone had a homework assignment to choose who they want to interview.
Yeah, I've asked